Hello and welcome to the Extreme Z Podcast, the only Dokkan podcast making your favorite talk show format relevant again. I'm your host, Epic Mewtwo.
And I'm your co-host, Kayvon.
Whoa, are you okay there, buddy?
Oh, yeah. I should drink some of this water.
Welcome back to the Extreme Z Podcast, everybody. How you going? Today is episode 40 of the podcast. Yay! A momentous occasion. I cannot believe that we've done 40 episodes. This is crazy. When we get to 50, we have to do something big. Because that's like, like no one cares about like the 4th year anniversary, but the 5th year anniversary, people or like when a company exists for 40 years, it's like it's whatever. But 50 years, baby. But anyway, enough about that for now. Today,
so this is bait.
Yeah, right. I guess it's kind of bait for talking about the anniversary of the podcast. We're going to be talking about bait today. We're going to be talking about what defines a bait banner, because this has been a long-running topic in the Dokkan community for some time now. And with the release of the LR Ultra Instinct Goku banner, bait has been taken to a whole new level, but we'll get into that later. We are going to talk about news today. Now, I know we say every time that we don't have much news for today, but we literally don't have that much news for today. Knock on wood. All right. Let's begin. Oh, by the way, I did want to say, last Extreme Z podcast was 100% my fault. There's a bunch of stuff that happened where it had to get uploaded late because it took way too long to render. So I apologize about that. If you have not seen that podcast, it was an interview with our boy Chaotic. So please go check it out because it definitely didn't get as many views as it should have. And it was 100% my bad because it went up late. And also rendering took like longer than I thought it was going to. So what were you going to say?
For apologizing here, I also apologize to the viewers for not being that talkative in that podcast.
Bro, I didn't. All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
We're all at fault.
Yeah. Whatever. Don't blame yourself. Server maintenance.
Shush.
Shut up. Bro, you literally like just broke up that whole time and all I heard was shush. That was perfect.
All right. Anyways, news.
Notification, yes, of server maintenance. Basically, JP went into maintenance. This was on the 11th, or rather, it was just talking about the fact that it was going to be going into maintenance. This maintenance was for the new update that released to JP. That update was the 4.10.0 update, which brought forth lots of great features. This is actually one of my favorite updates in a long time. I'm not going to lie, because
very nice quality of life.
Yes, quality of life updates always tend to be my favorite, which is so funny. But basically, to make the long of the short of it, when you're in the dupe system, you see a unit has a dupe that you can put in. You just click the thing on the the bubble map, right? You click their little silhouette in the corner, or their silhouette, the little circle that has their face on it. You click it, it tells you how many dupes it has now. You don't have to go into the other reversal tab to reverse them. You click it, it says, do you want to reverse them and use 1 hourglass? You click yes, you reverse them, you put all the dupes in, and then you can put them back just how they were, all in like 2 seconds. It's so convenient.
To be fair, you still have to go to the actual other tab to reawaken them, but it's still an upgrade.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it. And then though too, even so, that's a lot more streamlined because then you're only navigating through one menu instead of like 4. Yeah.
And plus you don't have to go and find the unit again back and hit a potential after you unawaken them.
Right, exactly.
It's very nice.
Yeah, very nice. This was also super, super cool too. Whenever you click on a unit to awaken them, it will just select all of the medals, which is so nice because before, I mean, granted, this one honestly wasn't like that big of a video. I don't really think anyone complained about this, having to click all the medals to then awaken the unit. But I mean, it makes sense. Wait, what'd you say?
Just makes it go faster at the end of the day.
Right, and it makes sense because obviously the whole point of you going into that menu anyway is to awaken the unit if you have the medals. So why would they already not be selected, right? And now that is the case. As well, there's also another little memerino where in the top right corner, you can also click a orange button, and essentially what this is for is it's another button to access a couple of different things. Remember before on the Awakening tab, you couldn't look, you couldn't train a unit from there. Like on the Training tab, you can click that at the top, and then you can see like potential, and you can see Awakening and stuff like that in the Awakening tab.
Right.
Yeah, in the Awakening tab, you could not see that, and it was super frustrating, and it still is for me. Now, when you click that button at the top, you can just go ahead and do that, which is great. They also updated Extreme Z, Awakenings, so that they are easier to do. Because before, it was this whole stupid thing of, like, you awaken the unit with the medals, and then it asks you to train them up, and then you train them up, and then you have to go back out of the menu and go back into the Awakening menu and then awaken them again and then train them again and then go back and awaken them again, and the process repeats. Now, it doesn't do that anymore. It basically just tells you after you train them up, it's like, hey, you want to just go to the next medal section, which is fantastic.
Oh, it takes you to the next medal section now too?
Yeah, I believe with a little pop-up.
That's because they did it for training obviously before, but
yeah,
they didn't do it for Easy Ace. That's nice though.
Yeah, super convenient stuff there. I absolutely love that. Also too, I believe you can also see as well if you have all of the EZA medals if you're going to Extreme Z Awaken a unit.
Oh, really?
So you don't have to go through you don't have to go through every single tab to see if you have all the medals, or go to that one menu that shows all the medals that you have. I believe it just shows if you have them all. So that's really cool. Lots of great quality of life stuff.
If they can just make it so that you can use all the medals at once, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know if that's a programming thing or if they could do that, because in my mind, when you awaken a unit, you can't, when you awaken a unit, right, it has to be max level, correct?
Yeah.
So when you do an EZA, right, every single time that you click a set of medals like bronze or silver, right, it gives you that little extra awakening with their levels, and then they have to be max level to use the next medals. Granted, though, you are right. I suppose what they could do is just make one screen that has all the medals on it, and then they just... No, I was just gonna say, then they, you could make them go from 120 to 140 immediately instead of having all the in between BS.
I think the issue is also that they wanted to have it split up in a way so that if you don't do the entire thing, you could still have a semi-boosted unit. Because you know how the leader skill is usually at 130 and unlocks, and then it's passive at 140. So I don't know, but it would be a nice update, an option at least one day. But
plus two with the free-to-play ones, that's super helpful.
Yeah, true.
The ones where the teams are super restricted for the easy areas which you can use, it's good to awaken them as you play the event.
Yeah.
I will say, what they could just do for that is they could just have it so that if you don't have enough of the next medal, you can only do the first one. If you have all the bronze and silver and then you don't have enough gold, then you can only do those two on the same screen.
That would work.
You know how on a normal awakening screen, from SSR to UR, right? It's Gregory's and Kami and whatever. And then if you don't have enough of one type of medal, you can just put in the medals that you have.
Yeah.
Obviously, most people don't do that. They just you do it normally. That's kind of an older thing that people would do, but you get my point. That would work for Easy Ace.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, as long as it's order and not random, because obviously those are kind of, you can just have any of them in any order. But anyway, moving on. Thank God you can now unselect support items.
Yeah, that was a long time coming.
Yes, very, very nice. Basically, before, when you wanted to get rid of support items, you had to click the minus at the top and get rid of all of them. It's really annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Really, really annoying. And now you can just unclick it, which is very, very nice. You can okay. What was the other thing? Oh yeah. You can now see the information for an event in a couple of different places now. Before, it was only on the main screen of the event. You could click on it and then see it. Now, on the friend page and on the page where you select your team, you can see the event's information.
Oh, really?
Yeah, super convenient. Obviously, then, most of the time, I guess you're not looking at that, but if an event has specific conditions and you need to be looking at that, then it's a lot easier to just click on it when you're already on the team screen instead of having to go back through two screens and then hit the information and then read it and then go back and select the friend and so on and so forth.
Very true.
Yeah, so very, very nice. And then I know your personal favorite change, the training stages staying.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Very good stuff. Basically, if you use a training stage, right, when you go to train the unit next, or train any other unit for that matter, it's already on that particular stage. So, like, if you're using gravity chambers, which is probably most likely what you're using because it's the best one, right? It'll stay on gravity chambers, and you don't have to scroll from what is actually the normal one, just like land,
It's just like the old planes, I guess.
planes, ground.
Round.
Because it's not even like the wasteland. Actually, wasteland isn't even a training location, is it?
I don't know, actually.
Interesting. Because you know how like wasteland is like a stage in most DBZ games? Interesting. But yeah, so that is a very, very nice quality of life update. Again, lots of really great stuff in this one. I always love when they do this sort of stuff. And of course, other bug fixes. I don't know if other bug fixes actually means bug fixes, because I feel like people would find them. I don't know. But anyway, that was what the maintenance was for. Very, very good stuff. Let's see. They did have... Okay, so this was actually... I did not see anybody talk about this. This is interesting. After the version update, right, which is now live, if the application is deleted on the Android device without account linkage... Even if the application is installed again, the data will be removed. Interesting.
Wait, so...
Or the data will be will be recovered and inherited will not be possible. Users using Android's device can smoothly recover transfer data if the app is deleted. Oh, wait, by linking the accounts in advance. Yeah, so please check the menu data backup. Basically, what they're saying... If the application is installed again, the data will be removed. Wait, even if the application is installed again, the data will be recovered and inherited will not be possible. Yeah, so essentially if you delete your game, your account's gone. Is what that's saying. Because you know how before, if you uninstalled your game and then you reinstalled it, it was like, hey, do you want to pick up from where you left off?
Yeah.
Now it just doesn't do that.
Oh, dang.
If you uninstall it. I do wonder...
Reverse quality of life update?
Kind of, but I feel like... I mean, A, if you cared enough about the game, you would probably link your account anyway. B, I almost feel like that... Does that have something to do with modding or hacking?
I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe.
How would that work?
I got nothing.
Actually, well, you know what that could help, I will say? It doesn't necessarily directly affect people who are doing those sort of things, I will say. But it does help the whole problem of accounts like... You know how it's kind of an issue right now? And we might actually do a whole topic on this later. Well, I guess we did do a topic on... Yeah, I guess we kind of talked about it in the Are Mods Good for the Game video. You know how there's like, on Global especially, there's like 1 billion SR friends?
Yeah.
And obviously that's, I mean, mainly due to Blade 5 and people making tons and tons of accounts. I suppose that is a good thing, because then if you don't want to keep that account... and you don't link it to anything, and you don't just like keep it on like a, like an emulator instance, or you just keep that account on your phone, if you delete the app, then the account is gone. So that's good, because then that's not clouding up the friends list. You know what I mean?
That is fair, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's the only advantage. I don't know why. Interesting.
Actually, that might be the reason, now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's probably a good way. That's like, because I think that's a good step to take for preventing that going forward, but it doesn't necessarily help what we have now, but it's still a good step in the right direction.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm making sure I'm getting this right again. I'm rereading it. If the account is not linked, you will not be able to recover the data. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to do that on Apple then. Because that's specifically for Android. At the end of the day, make sure you have your account linked. That's what I gotta tell you. Anyway, we got do you know what this one was for? We got compensation for what are those called? Equipment?
I don't know now.
Compensation for target users has been completed. Let's see. Actually, we do know what this is, Kayvon. To those users whose latent skill was level 26 or higher at the start of maintenance on May 13th. In addition, this case of the above user and the skill ball being installed and replaced with a new skill ball. Basically, you want to explain this? Or no? I can do it. It's fun. Because the problem is that, remember there was the whole thing where the equipment technically wasn't working properly?
Yeah, because if you got up to a certain level, it just wouldn't work.
Right, because technically, what's the max crit now with max equipment? It's something like 27. Is that what the max crit is now?
Yeah. Well, now it's like 50 or so. Technically.
50?
Well, no, the game can recognize up to 50 crit.
I mean, that's accessible right now.
Yeah, you can get like 27 or so.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, because I remember if you had them at max crit and then you gave them an equipment that would have put them over, it just didn't show it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happened. And then they fixed it, basically.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And you're right, too. I forgot to mention that. Good call on that one as well. The fact that now they, what do you call it? They did this thing where in the game's files, 50 is the max amount of like one stat that you can get.
Yeah.
It's not accessible to anything right now. Frankly, I don't even know if they're ever going to use that. Maybe like way in the future, you know?
Because that means level 100%. That means 100% chance to crit, like regardless. Because level 50 crit is every point of crit is 2%.
Maybe they do that. You know, it could be an interesting way to do that if they do a free-to-play unit, where that could be a way to almost expand passive skills. Because like if they have a unit where if the unit crits, then something happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the unit doesn't get any crit on their like passive or super or anything like that, and they're a free to play unit, and the intention is for them to crit all the time, then maybe they get like some free to play equipment where they can get max crit, and then their passive will proc when the unit crits.
That would be interesting, actually.
Yeah, but then it's like
busted, but interesting.
Oh yeah, and then in the beginning though, maybe the unit can't get like that part of the passive. Like, you know how LR Easy A Zamasu Goku everybody thought was kind of doo-doo, and then he got the Easy A?
Yeah.
Kind of like that, where maybe like, you know, he wasn't at his full potential yet, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Sure. I get what you mean.
Something along those lines, so it could be really interesting.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. But yeah, that is something to look forward to if we ever get to that point in Dokkan. I don't know if we will. But hey, you know.
I doubt we ever will, but hey, who knows?
Maybe 10th year anniversary.
That.
There was also a passive skill. Bro, lots of errors on JP. What's going on, bro?
Of course, from the beta version.
1.0. We have confirmed that some characters' passive skills display changes in energy and attack values at unintentional times, but this has been fixed in the new version. Appropriate every time you attack, passive skill, every time you attack, every time you activate. Basically, they were just saying that passive skills were displaying incorrectly in certain areas.
Okay.
Interesting. We also did have something in between, another error that happened on JP. Oh boy, the GT Trio banner.
There's an error.
No. I'm saying that happened before the next error.
Gotcha. Okay, I was about to say, like, what? Compensation?
The banner is an error.
Oh, true.
But no, this is part of the, technically, this is actually part of, not Goku Day. What was the celebration before Goku Day?
Golden Week.
Yes, this is technically still part of the Golden Week celebration. Because they did this the last couple years with Golden Week. They did 2 years ago. They did the 90%. Last year they did the 100% units, and now they're doing category leads. Oh, and also sell too. So, I mean, they're all right banners. If you want to summon on them to get LRs, sure, but I wouldn't really recommend it unless you don't have them and or you're a whale. Probably the best banner, though, I will admit, was probably Goku and Frieza's banner. That one was probably the best. But that's gone now. We have, I think, Cell at the moment. But anyhow, moving on. Another error. What? Basically, let's see. After the maintenance, there was a problem that the image displayed in how to play. Of the help and the text of the following dialogue were not displayed, but the correction has been completed. Gotcha screen specific trade law in based on display. Basically, in the how to play, things weren't displaying properly. Like, you know how it when you're scrolling through like the loading screen, it's like how to play or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, it was just showing an error in the text.
Oh, ooh.
Which is interesting. Also, this is very funny. Screen specific comment method based on the display, the fundamental display. Interesting. Also, I love at the end it says inconvenience this time to the user, like I am so sorry. Thank you, DBZ Space.
They're sorry. I mean,
they are indeed. They didn't even know that they were that sorry, but they are.
Yep.
That's funny. Thank you, DBZ Space, and your legendary translations.
Very nice.
Moving on, we do have a bunch of story events that went live on JP. We have the Hope story event. We do have Trunks' EZA. We had the big Dokkan Fest, though, in terms of Extreme Z Awakenings, with Vegito Blue coming through, which is dope, because obviously the GOAT, he was not on JP yet, and he was a global first version. By the way, we're going to talk more about that in a minute, because
what?
Spoilers. But Rose's banner did obviously come. Really? Or Rose. Vegito Blue's banner did come. Very odd selection of units. STR Cell and STR Janemba.
Interesting. I mean, they're basically saying, like, hey, use Extreme SDR, but no.
So weird. Yeah, no, I don't think I will. Speaking of which, the category that was super effective against them was Time and Space, and the Time and Space category gotcha banner did go
Time Travelers?
Yeah, Time and Travelers. Sorry, it's on DBZ Space it says those who transcend time and space.
Bro, not even travel, transcend.
Yeah, bro, they transcend. I mean, theoretically, I guess that still applies.
I mean, yeah, in a way, but like, that's a pretty big word. Like Trunks transcended time to go back to the past. True.
Although, well, STR Cell is on that category, but Janemba's not.
Yeah, I think it usually just put the type leader in one unit that would be effective against the enemy.
Yeah, really weird. I don't know. Those banners never really worth summoning on. I mean, unless you need the main unit.
Yeah, and even then, you could just use 150 red coins if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Which nobody would blame you.
And also is a lot of it, especially for Vegito Blue. Ooh. Heck yeah, bro. But this banner was alright. Featured units were Bardock, Tech Armor Trunks, the Trunks from the Android 13 movie, Int GT Cell, bruh, and AGL Tapion. Wow, that's actually pretty good.
Wait, what banner is this?
This is the Time Travelers.
Yeah.
Probably the weirdest time travel method comes from Tapion, though, for sure.
Yeah, because he was sealed.
He trapped in the box. Box open.
The box open. He traveled through time.
Really weird. That's like Captain America traveling through time.
Yeah, I mean, that is some Captain America time travel right there.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it counts, if the shoe fits.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Moving on, DB Super Mirai Trunks Edition. Goku Black's Dragon Ball Super event went up. We did also have, interesting, another error, but not in the actual game this time. There was a problem on the FAQ site where they were not able to receive some inquiries sent by inquiring minds. Interesting. Basically, they were just saying, hey, we can't accept your mail, but we fixed it now.
Yeah.
I've never seen them talk about that site, though.
Yeah, that's definitely new. Funny enough, that same message was on Global, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense because theoretically it is just getting sent to the same team. I mean, keep in mind, the translation is only like 5 people, you know?
The 5 goats of Global.
Hopefully, yeah. Bro, I need them to come on Dokkan that one time. That'd be dope.
On the podcast, that.
I would love that.
That would be hilarious.
Unfortunately, though, the next thing that we have up is not so pleasant. Oh, the Cell banner. Gross. Again, why? When they were doing all category leads, did they just, like, forget that there's other category LRs? Or is it just that...
Cell.
Like, is it just that all the other category LRs have been featured recently enough that they couldn't figure out who to put on this banner?
Whoops, all cells.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. The banner was not, like, too bad, but, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, Cell's definitely not worth the summon, I'll say that much.
Yeah, 100%. Especially since there's going to be more LR banners coming down the way anyway. But Tenkaichi Budokai 35 approaches. We got lots of cool stuff on this one. A brand new Mecha Frieza card, which we did do a news video covering. He is a Revenge support, which is so funny that a Frieza unit supports Revenge, which is led by Bardock.
Yeah. It's a weird.
Yeah, very weird. But I do like that they're giving Mecha Frieza some love because obviously, I mean, his only cards are the LR that he's only half of and a Super Strike. So,
yeah,
very, very cool that he's getting some more love. Considering, I mean, he is a pretty, like, big character in the show. I mean,
True.
I guess he's only there for, like, half an episode, but he does sort of spur on the entirety of the Android saga and then by proxy the Cell saga. So,
true. That is true.
Very interesting stuff there. But he is the prize unit for the 35th World Tournament, which will be over by the time that this podcast is uploaded. We did have some other really cool stuff on the banners as well. They decided to put, let me see here, AGL Vegito got an awakening, which was really cool. Ader also got an awakening, the Dragon Ball one. And the featured units on both of these banners were actually really, really good. Ader and Jackie Chun being featured on the Dragon Ball banner, which makes sense. On the regular SSR banner, the brand new Goten and Trunks EZAs, the Int one and the Tech one were featured, which also makes that banner really, really good. As well as some other good units. And the World Tournament Summon banner had that AGL Vegito. It had Pan and some other good units on it. So
very nice. Very nice.
Good stuff from this World Tournament in terms of summons, I got to say. But something else interesting. Oh, so obviously Genius Bulma's Battle Prep. Yes, Bulma's Genius Battle Prep went up for the tournament. And this is another interesting notice that they sent out. And this will be the last thing in terms of JP News here. We may suspend an account that has committed fraud with notice of terms of use. Very interesting. Specific examples of fraudulent acts of falsification of data in order to make more advantages than the original play, falsification of earned points, acts of using terminal tools or malicious programs, or other law and regulation actions. In case of being punished, if we confirm an illegal act that violates terms of service, we'll take measures to suspend your account. If your account is suspended, you'll not be able to log into the game. Please enjoy the rules.
Bro, I love rules.
Bro, I love the rules. They're so great. That's funny.
Rules.
Let's see here. Note on the account transfer. Even if the account is transferred to another user, if the account is suspended to suspension measures, we will not be able to return the account. So they send out a similar message to this. This does seem to be a little bit worded differently than what I've seen before, but maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly, because they always send out something similar to a message like this. By the way, I'm sorry if you can hear my chair creaking. I'm readjusting. But they always send out something related to this during the World Tournament, because most of the time, it's kind of funny. The World Tournament these days is almost more so used to just catch cheaters or people who are using mods than anything.
It do be like that.
I really do, because what they do is that, unfortunately, there isn't really a way for them to detect if you're using mods on your game, because most mods are a local thing when it comes to how the game works. Yeah. So they can't really detect it. But obviously with the World Tournament, since it's a thing that only lasts a couple of days and it's, all online and you're, getting points and stuff, they can tell when you're cheating or not. So they're going to give you that Baba Boy Hakai. You know what I'm saying? Good combo there. So that is most likely what this is about. I don't think that they're going to be suspending you for any other terms of use breaking. I mean, literally sending a screenshot to your homie is technically breaking terms of service. So
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
It do be like that.
They really do. But those of you using like UI Dokkan and stuff like that, I don't think you're going to have any trouble. But hey, you'll know if we have a big news headline about that coming up here. You'll know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But anyhow, moving on from that, we have global news now.
All right, let me get this up.
Boy, I got you.
So, did my thing reload?
Got him. We're starting off from top grossing, which we clowned about in the last podcast.
Yeah, so global got the top grossing for 7 stones. Oh boy, funny.
Yay.
We had the Goku Day campaign quiz. I don't know if this is part 1 or whatever part it is, but it was, I think, 3 parts, and we got a couple of stones from that, so very nice.
Oh, real quick, before you continue, do you mind if I make a note real quick about top grossing?
Sure.
For global top grossing, I believe I saw it on Twitter. We currently have 4 countries that have hit top grossing for global. Kind of doesn't surprise me considering this is UI Goku, but expect some top grossing from global.
If they don't randomly ignore countries again, because that's happened sometimes, but oh well.
Thank you. Those. Very cool.
Right, so there's an issue with gold coin, or not gold coin, with just coin distribution.
With gold coin, KTEL coin?
Yes, exactly. Basically, there were single summons weren't giving you the red coin, and they fixed it, basically.
Interesting. Why would you single summon anyway?
I mean, some people just want to watch the world burn, let's be real.
Dust!
Yep. A bunch of story events went live. The Defeat Legendary Super Saiyan and Lord Slug event, along with the Extreme Z area going back live for the Super Saiyan 2 EZAs, I believe. Where is this? Oh yeah, STR banner went up, and the Who's the Strongest Eternal Rivals banner with the STR Majin Vegeta and AGL Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku, who just got EZA. So if you really need them, go ahead, but probably not.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They're like one of the because I mean, I don't know. It's not often that we get a standalone EZA for units that aren't Dokkan Fests, because most of the time when it comes to unfeatured units, they just put them as a secondary EZA on an already existing EZA, but there isn't a Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan 2 or Majin Vegeta that have an EZA, so they gave them their own thing, and that's why the banner is so weird, with it's only them 2 featured.
But anyways, we got info on the STR Hit and STR Kaba Awakenings, which is very nice. I actually have the Dokkan Awaken my Hit. I forgot that existed. Gotta do that later. Info on the Extreme Z Awakening. Yeah, the Super Saiyan 2 Gokus can now be awakened. They'll be added sequentially.
To the Extreme Z area, yeah.
Yeah, the Extreme Z area. And the last one goes up the 28th. 28th was the last one goes up. So,
that's a lot of fossil Gokus right there, bro.
The Extreme Z area for the Super Saiyan 2s went live. What else? Wrath of the Dragon Universe 6 Saga and the Tournament of Power commence. All went live, foreshadowing a little something that Global was getting.
Nani, what?
And here's the system failure on the FAQ website.
Interesting.
It broke. Website broke.
Oof.
And now on to Gohan, Goku, and Goten Day Part 2. They added some new special missions. And this is the big part. The legendary summon for the new LR UI Goku, who starts off as God, goes to blue, and ends off at UI. Very, honestly, very busted LR, I'll be real.
I think...
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, you're the math guy, so I guess maybe you would know this more than me, but didn't they say... People were saying something along the lines of he's like the third best LR in the game or something?
I mean, I wouldn't know because people mostly go by APT, and I'm just like...
Oh, right, the different ways that you calculate it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hardest hitting, that still probably goes to Tech LR Broly.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that man is dumb.
Yeah. But
he's still an amazing LR, like, very, very good. Dokkan Fest exclusive level.
Yeah, he's really good. And, I mean, art literally, makes my eyes just cry whenever I look at it. Like, have you ever seen JoJo, the episode with Pearl Jam, where Okuyasu and Josuke go eating, and then Okuyasu cries from drinking the mountain spring water? That's me whenever I look at UI Goku.
Fair. Speaking of UI Goku, Tournament of Power events all went live. The Elder Kai banner is back in Global. Funny enough, they never made this a permanent thing on Global. Which, I mean...
Wait, what do you mean?
The Elder Kai banner isn't permanent on Global.
Oh, interesting.
It just comes around every time for celebrations, which is...
Oh, now I do have something interesting to say about that later, but finish the news first.
And this is another... So, we started with a Global First LR, and we have another Global First EZA with AGL Rose.
Nani? What?
Completely out of nowhere. Nobody saw this coming. His Extreme Z Dokkan Festival goes live the 28th. Him and Tech Angelku are featured, which I don't want to pull him anymore, so I'm not something on that. And he's weak to Vegeta family. Very fitting. Oh boy, Extreme Z Challenge Pack. I don't care.
Yay. I will say, too, it is really cool, though, that Global did end up getting both of those units first, because obviously with that, I think we talked about it in a news video, but they had a poll on the Global Dokkan Twitter about which unit should get an EZA first for Global first, right? Obviously, our boy VB won, but Rose was the other unit in the poll, so it's really cool to see that they did actually kind of stick to their guns, and they didn't give JP EZA Rose first, and they actually did give both the Global first, which obviously both, and I mean VB's on JP now, but you know, both will come to JP eventually, which is how it should be, of course, but it's still cool that, you know, they kind of stuck to that.
Definitely. Besides that, we have the Dragon Ball Saga story events all coming back, so some free Elder Kais right there. And besides that, funny if they released a promo video for UI, which is very funny.
It was really cool. They did something like that for Bardock and Team Bardock as well, but they haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. And besides that, there was just a little issue with special missions about the Clear and Extreme Z battle. They weren't working right, but they've been fixed now. And that's it for Global News.
So there is one... I'm going to pull a Reggie on you, bro. There is one more thing that I wanted to note, because this was something, by the way, if you don't follow me on Dokkan Assets, definitely go do that. Shameless plug. But the reason why I bring that up is because there was something interesting that popped on my TL the other day, which was talking about Kefla's release date. Now, this is something that I wanted to talk about on the podcast because this is more so a news thing and not really related to our topic today, and also will kind of affect future news. So a countdown appeared for Kefla from user Luca Dokkan on Twitter, and I was like, how do you know that?
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was very weird.
Yeah, so it was actually explained in the comments of this video by two different people, and I feel like both explanations kind of need to be said to make full sense of this. So Luca responds, because someone asked, you basing this off of when STR Namek Goku and Fizz Future Gohan were revealed? And he said, no, Kai Banner will leave on that time, meaning like the time that he has the countdown set to. And that usually coincides with new celebration banners, plus login ending on the 27th, and we will get the events list and new login on the 28th in his time zone, and Kefla will release at the usual time, so 10 CET on the 29th. Basically, Rick summarizes, there's a very consistent pattern. There's a very consistent pattern with bi-monthly Elder Kai banners. The end date of each Elder Kai banner is usually the start of the next major banner release. This has always been true for Global since bi-monthly Kai banners started, but accurate for JP all but 2 times since Android 13, during the entirety of the 5th year anniversary and LR Vegeta and Nappa.
Interesting.
So very interesting observations from the boys in the Dokkan community. I just wanted to point that out because I felt like that was some information that probably you would like to know. Both you and the viewer, Kayvon.
Sure.
So very interesting. I guess, that is definitely a good guess, right? As unfortunate as it is, even though that is pretty concrete logic, right? It is a good assumption, right? But it is not 100% confirmation that is going to be the case. Again, right? Rick, our boy, did note, I mean, I guess technically notice that there were 2 times that was not the case, right? So it is definitely something.
Looking at, go ahead.
No, that was all I had to say. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, looking at the end date of the current celebration is usually a good way to guess when the next one starts. That's actually how I guess you could say, ready myself for the next Stone Count post.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, so definitely good to keep your eye on those sort of things. It kind of reminds me of like back in the day when on DBZ Space, whenever they would release the unit, that would be when the unit would come out. And then they were like, well, we know you have that information now, so it ain't going to happen, right? So now they kind of have just gone back to not really caring about that, and sometimes it just happens anyway. But nonetheless, though, that is a pretty good way from the Elder Kai banner thing to be able to tell when the next celebration is coming. So I just wanted to put all of that on your guys' radar just so that you were aware of it. If you see anybody talking about it before we obviously get any official information, either from, Dokkan themselves or, I guess official information isn't from data miners, but if we get any more concrete information from data miners, I just wanted to let you know. And then too, if you see any countdowns before that sort of information is put out into the wild, now you know.
The more you know.
The more you know. Also, last thing before we move on, we totally called it that UI Goku was coming.
Yeah, it was either that or Ultimate Gohan, we guessed, and it turned out to be UI.
Yeah, which is perfect. And we said it on the last podcast, too.
Yep. Right.
Big brain time. But anyway, speaking of UI Goku, he's bait? Nani? Today,
segue.
We are going to be talking about bait banners. What defines a bait banner? We're going to be talking all about bait by the end of this video. I swear we're both going to be so sick of saying the word bait. We're going to ban the bait meme from the Discord. Link in the description, by the way. We're not actually going to do that either.
Speaking of bait, I'm going to bait you all into watching this ad. Got him.
And we are back.
This bait, it was your limit.
Bum, 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 bum.
You fell for it, fool.
Cross Thunder bait attack. Got him. As you can tell, today we're going to be talking about bait banners. There is lots of things to talk about on this topic. This is actually a topic that we've kind of, I guess, intermingled in other topics before, but we've never really dedicated a podcast episode to it. And more so, the discussion of bait banners is a very interesting one because, as we're going to discuss here today, theoretically, any banner can be bait.
In the words of truth, there's no way this is bait.
Exactly, bro. Any banner can be bait. We're going to attempt by the end of this podcast to define what a bait banner is. And we're also going to take a look at some good bait banners and some bad bait banners. So let's talk about, right, this concept of bait banners. So where did this come from, right? Well, you see, when fishing was created in the 1700s, no, I'm just kidding. By the way,
clown path.
True. Not true at all, by the way. Fishing was created much further in the past than that. But
Oh my goodness.
But no, basically, to give you a long and a shorter answer, bait banners are anything that either... Well, no, I don't even think I need to say that. I think it's basically just any banner that is essentially out there to make you waste your stones for something that is coming up in the future.
Which, to be fair, can be said about most banners.
From all of us here at the Extreme Z Podcast, we'll see you in the net. No, I'm just kidding.
The answer is everything is bait.
Right, but this argument extends a lot farther than you think, right? Because
That's
feel
the
like
difference between you and I.
bait the hedgehog. There are way more ways that you can classify bait than just, oh, it's there to take your stones, right? Because that's the general thing. But there's also banners that are like specifically placed bait. There's banners that are sort of unintentional bait. And then there are banners that are just not even unintentional bait, but are kind of unintentional bait. So let's go from the bottom up here. Those banners, right? And then we'll go over our good and bad. Those kind of banners, in my mind, are the category banners. So
Yeah, fair.
most of the time, whenever a new EZA is released, right, like we talked about in the beginning of this podcast, with the release of Vegito Blue on JP, the Time Traveler category banner went up. Now, these banners, right, especially these ones, they really make them super enticing for you, again, trying to bait you in, because they give you the first 3 multis for only 30 stones each, which, I mean, sounds like a good deal, especially since there are LRs in the unfeatured pool, and they have been doing a little bit of a better job with those banners recently, trying to get some featured units on there that are actually quite good. Sometimes they kind of stumble and fall on their face. It happens. And those banners don't tend to be very memorable, but I wouldn't recommend any player, even whales, to summon on those banners. I mean, it's nice to have that 30 stone multi, and then you're technically saving a couple of stones / bucks with the potential of getting an LR. But you could just summon on a banner where not only an LR is featured, right, but there are probably better units also featured on the banner. And even though it's like, it's cheaper, right, because it's 30 stones, it's still more worth your stones to have a LR actually featured on the banner, right? So there's bait like that. There's bait that is misplaced in terms of timing, right?
Yeah.
For good examples of this, we could say Dragon Ball Heroes on Global. Oof, bro, that's unfortunate coming from me, but that is true. What did Heroes come right before again? Remind me.
Heroes usually came before anniversaries.
Was it the last one that came right before an anniversary too?
I think so, yeah. It was.
So it's like, that's almost like those banners I don't really think are intended to be bait. I mean, maybe, again, it's sort of just by timing. I don't know if they say like, hey, let's save this banner so it's right before a big celebration. I mean, stonks. But I really do think that it's kind of just unintentionally they have to come at that time, and then they end up coming right before a big celebration, and, you know, people call them bait because it's like, you know, it just seems that way. But realistically, I think it's just the timing. I mean, you could also sort of talk about the fact that the Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku banners are almost unintentional bait, right? Because those banners had to come out before the anniversary. And I mean, they are pretty good banners. Obviously, discounts on Global, right, makes them super enticing. But intentional bait is the kind of bait that is the most potent. And today, obviously, we have the case of LR UI Goku. 100%, I think, without a doubt, in any Dokkan player's mind, that is intentional bait.
Yeah.
They literally put that man out and was like, oh, you're saving for 5th year anniversary?
No.
Here's UI Goku. One of the greatest units in the game. SA, art, attack stat, and all the rest wise. He's amazing, right?
Definitely.
So that's 100% intentional bait. And, like, I can't even blame you for falling for it.
Yeah.
Because it's
That's
so
the thing.
good.
That is good bait.
Yeah,
Very good bait.
that's good bait. Speaking of which, let's talk
Bad
about some
bait.
good bait and bad bait banners. let's go ahead and take a little scroll through our list of banners here. So, actually, another type of banner, we'll tackle this one first just because it's at the top for JP. Do we want to look through JP or global here? Probably JP, right?
I would say JP. I'll look at both, anyway.
Okay. So, the first type of bait banner that I would say is probably bad, Easy A banners.
Wait, what banners?
Thoughts, Easy A banners.
Okay, so you always gotta consider bait can depend on like a person's box too, because like if you don't have the unit and the unit's really good, obviously people would probably summon because they don't have the unit, but you can also say that's the why it's bait in a way. But
right, I mean,
but though most people probably don't summon on Easy A banners, so
yeah, most people don't. I feel like though those banners are only worth it if the main featured unit is good, because 9 times out of 10, the other 2 units that are featured on the banner, they're kind of doggy doo-doo, bro. But in the case of, like, you know, VB, AGL Super Vegito, right? Those type of units are worth your stones, even though they're older. Obviously, with the Easy A under their belt, they're fantastic, you know?
yeah.
Though, overall, 100% bait. Because, I mean, hey, you getting Vegito Blue or you getting STR Cell, bro?
I mean, with his Easy A, he do be hitting different.
True. But, I mean, he's nowhere close to Vegito, you know what I mean?
I mean, anything anywhere close to Vegeta.
A UI Goku, baby. Hey.
Even then, probably not.
True. But, let's move on here. Okay, this is an interesting argument, just since it's at the top here. Do you consider Elder Kai banners bait?
I mean, in a way, they are baiting people to spend to get Kais, so yeah.
Because then you're wasting your stones on SA when you could be summoning for new units. But
I guess, yeah.
at the same time, though...
This is starting to feel like everything is bait again. I think we're doing the poor job here.
Well, I mean, it's kind of just unfortunately these 2 banners at the top of JP were kind of a little bit of a podcast shaft, if you will. But, I mean, I think only from the perspective of, like, you know... Well, okay, if you need Kais for your units, I would say no. Because if you have all these LRs and you don't have any SA in them, it's like, what's the point of getting another one? I mean, I guess to have the shiny new toy, but it's like you can't even use the other ones that you have already. And granted, there are, you know, free-to-play options for getting Kais, plenty, in fact. But I suppose, I mean, if you've really had the well-run dry, there we go. Thank you, brain.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. But overall, I would definitely say that, yeah, these are bait, because I don't think anybody... I mean, I've never had to summon on this banner before, and I've been able to SA10 all the units that I've wanted to SA10 pretty easily. Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know. I'd say quite a few units nowadays have farmable SAs anyway. So I would say probably yes. All right, before we go back to kind of a more dinky banner, let's talk about some bigger banners. LR banners. Bait? Yes or no? We can take for... Okay, so let's classify these LR banners differently, because there's different kinds of LR banners that we have to look at here. There's LR banners... Excuse me. Oh my gosh. That's my Panda Express coming through. So good. Anyway... There's LR banners where a unit is brand new, right? Like UI Goku. Or, you know, when a LR is first introduced. But then there's also LR banners where it's returning LRs. Can we safely say that... Well, okay. Are returning LR banners good bait? Yes or no?
I would say at that point it depends on the LR that's returning.
Okay.
Because Goku and Frieza is... That's some good bait.
True.
His Cell, that's some stinky bait.
Yeah, that is pretty stinky bait. I think it also helps because obviously the main appeal of the banner on LR banners specifically is the main LR. Yeah, because Dokkan Fests are different because, well, I guess I can't even say most of the units, but most of the units are usable, right? But LR banners, I mean, again, the LR is really the rare unit. the rest of these units you can pull on any banner. Chances are you will probably pull them eventually. Mm-hmm. And also, if you pull them and you already have them rainbowed going for the LR, that's kind of big stinky. So,
like me.
I believe you are right, though. It depends on the LR.
Yeah.
And I think that the unfeatured units just kind of, if they're good, then it supports it. And also, it even supports it even more if they're good and you don't have them in your box.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Because, I mean, you know, like if you don't have Tech 18 or like Int Brienne or Bergadmo the Goat, right? Even Fitboo now, you know, those are great units, you know?
Definitely, yeah.
Tech 17, bro? No one wants that, man. Even if you don't have Fizz 17.
Only the homies who don't have Fizz 17 yet.
But, you know what's so funny, too? You can get a free-to-play Dragon Ball Super 17, right?
Wait, what?
There's a free-to-play Dragon Ball Super 17, isn't there? Or am I thinking the wrong unit?
I mean, there is, but he's complete doo-doo.
Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know. I would rather just, like, in the grand scheme of things, I would rather just save my stones for when 17 would be here. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So besides that, though, so definitely Cell is an example of a bad one. Definitely, like, Goku and Frieza. I would even say GT Trio to an extent.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty
Baby, good. Yeah?
They're middling.
Yeah, middle, definitely. What's another really good one? Who was the last? I'm trying to remember the last returning banner. I'm going into the archive here. I'm going in, boys. I'm digging deep. Let me see.
He's in, boys. He's in.
He's in, boys. He's in. I don't know. I can't find it. Okay. So then let's talk new LR banners, right? Thoughts on those?
Right, so obviously it depends the time frame. That's always, especially with those kind of banners. Those in Dokkan Fest, the time frame means a lot. Because, example, UI Goku, he's amazing, but he's amazing bait. Because 50 is right around the corner. They know Goku Day is hype. They're gonna bring out hype stuff. So yeah. Like,
excuse me, I'm choking on my water here.
You're fine. It's just bait. No matter how good the unit is, it's bait, but it's still good bait. Everything's bait.
Agreed. There's also the case of things like, I don't know, because some of the LR banners I wouldn't even call bait. Like, for example, LR Godku, right? Like, he's cool,
Yeah.
but I don't think, well, I mean, obviously no one's hyped for him as much as UI Goku. That's, like, clear. But he's still good. But he kind of didn't come around. Like, he came before Super 13, bro. Like, no one, all the homies hate Super 13. You know what I mean?
The one guy who likes Super 13 in the comments.
Disliked. No, don't like it, bro. Purple Super 13 is fine. I'm just clowning. But regardless, right? I wouldn't really consider that good bait because, I mean, sure, the LR is good, but it's not really good enough to warrant summoning. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I might even consider that bait because, like, it's like sure, it's just kind of there. To be fair, a lot of LR banners are just kind of there.
And I mean, I guess that's also because they come out at a good time, right? Like, they come out when there's not really a lot going on, which entices people to summon.
And most of them you can get another time. Just because they're featured on the banner doesn't mean they're exclusive.
True. Speaking of, though, let's go even deeper with this discussion. Top banners.
So, here's the thing. Well, I feel legendary banners are just bait a lot of the time. Top banners feel like the in-your-face kind of bait.
That's true.
Like the, hey, you should spend your stones. 2 LRs, oh boy.
Especially the 5th year one.
It's like, it's the kind of bait where it's like, you know it's bait. There's no denying it. Like, with most LR banners, like, oh, hey, they just want you to spend their stones. If you can get a good unit, this is just bait. They want you to spend your stones. That's it. Granted, the units could be stupid good, but, like, it's just because it's like, it kind of feels like they're forcing it at you a bit.
Yeah.
Like, trying to butter it up a little too much.
Right. It's like, hey, you know, if you don't summon, it's less of a chance to get both of these bad boys, you know?
Yeah.
And again, like, especially Broly and Rose, I feel like is a lot more potent than GT Trio and Baby. And you got to keep in mind, too, I know it might seem kind of strange, you, the viewer, I'm talking to you. Yes, I'm looking at you through the webcam right now.
No.
It might seem strange, rather, to call some of these LR banners bait, considering that the LRs are really, really good. But you have to remember what you're summoning on and for. You're not getting any Dokkan Fest when you're summoning on the typical LR banner. Most of the time, the featured units on the banner are mediocre, if not all right, but are still outclassed by most Dokkan Fests that you could get while trying to pull for the main unit on a normal Dokkan Fest, especially something that has Dokkan Fest LR or LRs on it, right? In comparison, it's just unparalleled.
Yeah. Also, you also got to remember that the severity of bait, I guess you could call it, also depends on how good the unit naturally is, especially with LRs.
Right.
If we're comparing a Fizz Cell's banner and UI's banner, just the units by themselves, UI is obviously is 100 times better than Fizz Cell.
Right.
But and in a way, you can kind of say he's less bait because you're not being pressured to waste your stones because he's a good unit, right? But Fizz Cell, like, sure, he's still great. He's an LR. LRs are great, but he's middling.
Yeah.
And like, it's less like it's you have to. It's like a scale. You have to weigh your options. Like, is Fizz Cell worth my stones? And
the
a lot of the times
no.
I play not. But UI Goku, though, especially with the amount of teams he's on, his links having prepared for battle in this day and age is getting rarer and rarer. I hate it, but I feel like, I don't know. It feels more worth it, and to an extent, like while it's really good bait, it also kind of makes it not bait in a way, because you're not wasting your stones trying to go for him.
Though theoretically,
sure, if you don't get it, but like
right. But theoretically, again, like you could be summoning other Dokkan Fest units rather than some of these crummy unfeatured units.
That's also the thing. Like you could say, like, because here's a bold claim for you. Is 5th anniversary bait for 350 million downloads?
What? Nani? Crazy. Let's get into that topic a little bit later, because that's kind of like the heavy hitter at the end.
But yeah, like anything. The thing is, like, bait, like, there's always going to be better banners to summon on. Like, that's how gacha games work. They have to get you to spend somehow.
First banner, bait for first year anniversary.
Facts. Big facts. But yeah, like, I don't know.
Double raid LR banner. Hit you with a hard one.
So double rates, 20% chance, or 20%, 20% chance for an SSR every slot, basically. That's some good bait.
True.
So to be fair, that's like, sure, it's like, well, are we talking about like double rates featured LR or just double rates in general?
Both.
So general double rates, I would say, because like with regular double rates, you're pulling for the chance at an unfeatured LR out of the entire unfeatured pool.
Which granted is, I mean, it's big. I mean, though there are a lot of LRs now, but you are right.
There are, but even then, the amount of LRs compared to the unfeatured pool is still pretty massive.
True. Now
it's only going to keep getting bigger.
What's the where he pulls out the tape measure? That's pretty big or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Pulls out ruler. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for featured LR double rates, that's a bit different because the LR is featured, and that's like, if I think it's a split rate, so it's 10% chance for a featured unit on those. That's pretty good for a featured LR, because usually it's 5% divided by all the featured units and all that. Though it depends on the amount of features too, but I don't know. I guess I'd put it as most LR banners are below double rates LR banners, but above just Rising Carnival no featured LRs.
And the other thing too is that most of the time with double rate LR featured banners, I don't think there's ever been a double rate LR featured banner where it wasn't a new unit.
Yeah.
Because
also, another thing to keep in mind, not to cut you off, but double rates give blue coins.
That's true, which are very valuable.
Blue coins,
Well, Okay. From the
Depends.
perspective of banners that contain blue coins, most of the
definitely I'd say
time, you're less
second
likely to
best one.
summon on them.
Second best one, I'd say, because there's an obvious best one.
Right, red coins.
Well, no, I mean for blue coins.
Oh, I see.
The best banner for blue coins is obviously heroes.
Right.
By far.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then
So you also got to
double
consider
rate
if you're going
LR.
for like this. Wait, what?
No, I was gonna say then double rate LR.
Yeah, because double rates LR you get blue coins, but
The
regular
only-
LR banner you get the gold coins.
The only other.
And sure, wait, go ahead. You go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, it's fine. We're interrupting each other, to be fair.
Nope, no talking.
What? Podcast silent.
No, I was just gonna say because the only other place you can get blue coins is what? Category banners, the Elder Kai banner to what? Get more Elder Kais? No, I'm kidding. But like,
Yeah.
you know, there's not really a lot of place in. I mean,
It's just the type banners,
type
category
banners, yeah.
banners, and that's it. And the main reason you're going to use your blue coins is for either the guys, if you really want them,
yeah,
or the type leads, or the category sports. The type supports. I said both things wrong before the right one.
all good.
But, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like obviously blue coins are the least valuable coins because there's not as much to buy. Gold coins, 500 for an LR, pretty nice. And red coins are obviously the most abundant because, like, you're always going to summon on Dokkan Fest. They're the main banners.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a way, you could say red coins are the least valuable in a way because
Interesting.
you'll come by the most of them. Why are we talking about coins now? This is supposed to be bait.
No, because we're
Red coins aren't
discussing
bait.
like you have to take into consideration. I suppose the coins do sort of calculate
bit of
into the
role.
bait
Yeah.
because when you're summoning on a normal Dokkan Fest, obviously you're going to get red coins, but yellow coins are super valuable because then you can get an unfeatured LR that you may literally never pull.
Yeah.
You know?
But there's also a risk that you pull. That means you have to pull on an LR banner, which obviously is less worth than a Dokkan Fest
Right.
because it's all unfeatured garbage practically,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
just a shiny new toy
Right.
in the middle of the trash.
Trash. Another one man's trash, another man's trash.
And then blue coins are just, if it's not heroes, then
Yeah,
know what I
she's
mean?
out of there. What about type banners then?
type banners are weird because they also give like a little bonus when you summon like the Ords or like the Kai or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it only having like the type of unit helps to pull LRs because the unfeatured pool is drastically reduced.
Right.
And all the type supports are still really good, even though they're not really meta considering we're in categories. But
Right. And I mean,
I don't know.
no, yeah, because then it's easier to like, and not only is the pool reduced, it's also easier to snipe the unit that you're trying to get.
I will say though, the type supports are probably the most exclusive units in the game besides heroes.
Which is so
Because
weird,
they
but yeah.
barely come back, and I don't know. It almost feels like their worth isn't a value even equal to their like rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like LRs are rare, they're hard to pull, but they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the worst LR, like people are saying, it's Vegeta and Nappa. Even them, they're really
What?
good.
When did this happen? Okay, discussion for another video, but yes.
It's just for another video. They've surpassed Incel from how bad people say they are. Yeah,
Yikes.
we'll get. I'll tell you that conversation off screen.
Okay, sounds good.
But regardless, like even them, they're amazing when they excel in their right place. But like the type supports, like they're just there to make other units look better.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, obviously, you can say it for any support, but like granted, their awakenings are still amazing. They got great glow ups, but they're not. I feel like they aren't justified having their own banners.
Right.
say
Especially,
in a
yeah,
way
because
you
they're
could
not
say
that
that,
good.
but
Yeah.
In a way, you could say no, not that good. They're not that
Not as good as like an
outstanding.
LR, surely.
Fair, but like I don't know. It's like I'd say in a way that it's like a bit of a bad bait because like sure you're getting value, but you're not getting as much value as you could be.
Right. It's all about that value. It's all about that.
Exactly, which is why
oil.
anniversaries are probably the best way to use your stones.
Exactly.
Segue?
I feel like, yes, I feel like we've sort of gone over every type of banner by this point. Let's talk about big celebrations, dual Dokkan Fests, and the titular thing that we mentioned before. Oh, wait, actually, before we moved on that. Sorry, backpedal.
What?
Tanabata, bro. We forgot about that.
Oh, 100% bait. 100%. No Johns about it. It's like whack feature pool. Half the units are pretty old and just diluted to heck rates.
And then you got all the LRs
Remember
that are
the
like
3% featured rate?
Don't remind
That
me.
was awful. I mean, to be fair, it's the best place to use red coins because all those LRs are on red coins. So,
True.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, you know.
Like, besides that, no. Yeah. Don't summon. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I don't think I'm ever going to summon again when I got shafted on those big side.
To be fair, though, Global did give an enticing deal with discounted Tanabata summons.
That's true.
I mean, that was some nice bait, I will admit. And I'm not saying that because it got me a Go-Bros.
Okay. Well, man, maybe you're a little biased.
Maybe. No, but it's like, that is a good way to incentivize people to summon. Because, obviously, unless you're the category banner, because nobody cares about the category banners.
Yeah.
If you have discounts, that's that's what every player, free to play or not, should do. Even on Super Saiyan 3, Goku, and Majin Vegeta, everybody who was saving for 5th anniversary still did those discounts. I guarantee it.
Agreed.
Because it's like you're wasting value. Sure, you may be using stones that you could be using on the anniversary, but it's still value you should take advantage of.
Right. Because then you're missing out on it, and it'll never come back, literally.
Which is why, even Majin Vegeta and Goku, segue a little bit, but betas they feel, they aren't beta at the same time. Because, every dual Dokkan Fest has value despite their bad timing.
True. That is true.
Yeah, bad timing is a lot of what makes Dokkan Fest banners bait.
Okay, wait. Before we get into that big topic, there is actually, I realized, one more type of banner that we did miss. Dragon Ball Hero, or rather, not Hero, sorry. Fusions doesn't really equate into this because now they're in the general pool.
Yeah.
But we forgot about one type of banner, bro. And I know you probably forgot about it because I did until I started scrolling through here. The New Year's banner and the New Era banner.
Okay, New Era will just... Oh, do we count New Era? Because it's basically just New Year's banner, but for one specific occasion.
It's suppose.
Still just the New Year's step.
But we assume that that's going to be an annual thing, right?
Well, yeah, you remember why... Well, the New Year's one is, but that New Era thing, you remember
it's for Japan,
happened, right? Yeah, it was because of the new Emperor.
But I'm just saying, that
only happened once in this lifetime.
Right,
so,
right.
But yeah, the New Year's banner is definitely going to be a thing every time. Though, I would say, besides Anniversary, those are what you save the stones for. Because that is the most value you can ever get in this game. You're guaranteed, a super extreme type lead, a category lead, an extreme category lead, and you're guaranteed an LR. And the only thing that even came close to that is the 200 stones for a free quote-unquote LR.
Mm-hmm.
That happened during 5th year, and even then that was
whoops.
Because you can get all garbage and then just the LR.
The only other time they've given out an LR for free is that one free ticket, too.
Yeah, the ticket multi for the 55 tickets, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. I mean, again, it's that banner, though. The New Era? No. The New Year one came right before Broly and Gogeta.
True. That one, that's weird, because, you couldn't have that banner anywhere else because of the...
True.
I guess.
And then those banners came right before 4th year, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. You could call it bait, but at the same time, that still probably had more value than Gogeta and Broly, I'm going to be honest.
Fair. I mean,
especially
it's weird.
On JP. JP don't have those discounts.
That's true. That's true. And the other
hit different.
The New Era banner came out, I believe, before or during Trunks and Zamasu.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah. No, it came out because they were. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Because the other thing about those banners, right? You're 100% right about the discounts. Discounts on JP, unheard of, dog. Me seeing
they get us on category banner.
Yeah, less than 50 stones for a multi. Am I dreaming, bro? Pinch me.
That's also that also shows that also I will also say that makes the New Year's step ups even better for JP,
Right.
because that's the only place to get discounted multis.
Yeah. And you could think about it this way too, right? Since those particular banners are guaranteed LR, they're almost, this is going to be such a controversial opinion. They're almost less bait and more worth it than a Dokkan Fest banner in the long run.
Wait, the step up?
Yes.
I agree.
Because oh, cool. Well, you're guaranteed an LR, yeah.
And even here's the thing: it also depends on your box, obviously. Like if I have every super and extreme type lead rainbow, 2 of those steps are useless.
Right.
At least a guaranteed unit.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can still pull other units off those steps, but your guaranteed value is not value because it's a Baba Shop dupe, basically. Or if you want to keep it in your box.
Right. I mean,
but like
you still can pull other stuff on those steps. But
wait, what?
You can still pull other stuff on those steps.
Yeah, you can, but I mean just for the guaranteed spot.
Right,
like,
right.
You don't have the value from it because it's going to be something you can't use.
Right. Like me. Oof.
But even the other steps, like just getting a guaranteed unit, because obviously when you get the category leads, there you go. Obviously, you're not going to have most of them rainbow unless you're like Mega Whale.
Was that a call out? Is that why you paused there?
No. I thought you were saying something. Is that what?
No, I agree though. And it's like, I only say that because Dokkan Fest units will always come back.
Yeah.
At some point. You know, granted, you're not guaranteed to pull them, but with red coins, you obviously have a higher chance of getting them. But again, some of these LRs you may literally never pull in your entire Dokkan career. If you're not going hard on the featured banner for their first banner, you may never pull them unless you either, you know, get that extra chance with a guaranteed LR, or, you know, again, and it kind of stinks because since that's the only way that you can get a guaranteed LR, you know, besides the thing that they did with 5th year, and you're not summoning on LR banners for yellow coins, you can't get them from the coins or that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I mean, I would almost... Bro, Dokkan Fest banners are bait for LR banners? What?
I mean, that's what happens when you're literally the best value in the game.
Yes, true.
And that's why, well, go ahead.
No, I'm breathing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's why both anniversaries and that are borderline the most, value you can get in this game. Download celebrations at a close third compared to anniversaries, because... Though those can be weird, considering you could say, again, anniversary could be bait for 300 million downloads, or the download celebrations, but it'd be like that.
I think we should get into that now because we've been teasing that topic long enough.
Oh yeah, keep in mind this only applies really to global, because the download celebrations happens what, 6 months after the anniversary for JP?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how they always did it. I don't know if they intended for it to be like, oh, global shaft, gotta milk global. But, they always usually do the download celebration a month or 2 after global's anniversary. Which we've just learned to kind of deal with it, if it makes any sense.
That does stink, though, because it's that's a good way to space out really good units and content on JP. But then they're all the content's at what time, and then the rest of the time, not that there's not content for the rest of the time, but then the rest of the time there's nothing really big, you know?
No, I understand what you mean.
I don't know, man. But yeah, so let's talk about that. This was the craziest thing that we've heard in a while. So this was 4th year to 300? Yes?
Yes, I believe.
People essentially were saying that...
The Super Saiyan 4th were bait.
For LR Gohan and Cell, huh?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Global Man? Tell me.
Okay, so... Gohan and Cell were interesting units, let's say that much, because a lot of controversy surrounding them. The Super Saiyan 4s were still amazing units.
True.
This is not devaluing how good they are. But... it just comes from the timing again, which sucks a lot of the time, but with how much value 5th year still gave, I feel like even, especially during, or not 5th year, 4th year, at least in this case, with how much value 4th year still gave, you would be, not only to say dumb, but you wouldn't be playing smart if you just went discounts on the anniversary. Especially with Dokkan Fest LRs. And sure, 300 or sure, go on and sell. We're also Dokkan Fest LRs, which is the first time for an anniversary, for a download celebration, which I was a little sad about, to be fair.
Yeah, I remember that. You're really disappointed.
Yeah. And it's going to be the same this year, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. But to be fair, they at least give a decent amount of time for players to stock up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
1 to 2 months isn't the worst thing. Like, it could be straight after.
Right.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, that would be awful.
But, yeah.
And it's so hard to say that because, like, both banners have multiple LRs, right? Multiple Dokkan Fest LRs. And it's like, I suppose at the end of the day, it just kind of comes down to what characters do you want in your box, depending on if you like said character or if the character's just good in the game.
Yeah.
Because, like, this all sort of wraps back around to UI Goku, right?
Yeah.
How UI Goku is fantastic bait for the 5th year anniversary. It's a unit...
Definitely.
Whoops, I dropped my water bottle, sorry.
You're good.
It's a unit that has been highly anticipated for so long. The art, the super attacks, what he does, all great. You know, anything Ultra Instinct, people eat it up, right?
Yeah.
And especially since I think it also helped as well. And this is also Bandai's smart marketing too. I don't think I've ever seen them actually do a big marketing thing like this in a while. They released basically every Ultra Instinct thing under the sun came out recently.
Yeah.
Like, we had Goku come out in Fighters. We had this Goku come out in Dokkan. There's something else that I can't remember that came out recently for UI Goku.
UI Goku probably coming out in Legends, let's be real.
Possibly, right? UI Goku's also in the manga now. So lots of UI Goku love, right? Which is great to see. But, you know... It's bait.
And here's the thing, also, as good as UI Goku is, and this comes from me who, spoiler if you haven't noticed, I pulled him. Or, not noticed, but if you haven't heard, I have pulled him. He comes back. He's on everything. Besides, like, Dokkan Fest banners, obviously. Obvious reason why, because, like, imagine if you could pull regular LRs off Dokkan Fest banners.
Oh, mama.
You know that meme where it's like, the society society if we could pull regular LRs off Dokkan Fest banners.
That's good. I like that. You should make that. That's funny.
I should, honestly. But no, it's like, UI as good as he is, you don't need him, nor should you like break your wallet over him unless you really want him. And it's also the fact that he comes back. He'll be here again eventually. He might even be on 5th year. Who knows? Because he's going to be on Broly and Rose's banner unfeatured. More than likely. And the ticket banner is probably not, but who knows what they'll do on Global.
By the way, that is... I'm going to tell you right now, as a JP player, bro, I don't say this often, I'm mad jealous. Not because UI Goku in that case, right? Because obviously he's going to get a featured banner on JP. That's not a big deal. But the fact that on the 5th year anniversary LR banner with Rose and Broly, he is going to be on there? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, most likely.
That's disgusting.
Though to be fair, there is a chance he won't, but
True.
We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Depends on how they'll decide to play it.
Right.
But yeah.
Only time will tell in that regard. I think to wrap up this video, we go back to our original definition of bait. Essentially, it is any banner that tries to get you to spend stones.
Which, in reality, is every banner, but...
Yeah.
Also how blatantly they try to get it at you, like...
Right.
Top LR banners just really want your money.
Yeah. And I mean...
What's about it. Like, that's why they have 2 LRs on it.
This whole discussion, I feel like, is almost encompassed by the whole meme that, like, 5th year anniversary is bait for 6th year anniversary.
Yeah.
You know, theoretically... Theoretically, yeah, it is true, right? Anything can be bait for anything, right? Timing, character selection, what you like and what you dislike, you beautiful human being, you. Whatever, right?
Heck, you might have found something bait once they released Fizz Piccolo if you like Piccolo so much.
Yeah, right? Whatever was before Fizz Piccolo, all the Piccolo fans, no! Dang it!
Yeah, bait.
Piccolo fans be
STR
like...
Cooler, bait for 13 if you really wanted 13.
That's a hot take.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, but
13,
you are right.
13 lovers don't dislike, please.
13 lovers. Bruh. But yeah, I think we've just about covered it for this video.
Yeah, we've rambled a lot about bait. I don't want to hear the word bait anymore.
Until the 6-year anniversary. But I think at the end of the day, even though we've given you a solid conclusion, I still feel like there isn't a good answer to this question.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you got to make your own decision on what's bait or not to you, because your box plays an important part. What you like plays an important part. Like, if you don't like the fusions, why would you summon for them?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, hot take, but yes.
Yeah. Obviously, it depends on how people view it. Like, because if you summon purely for what you want, then that's on you. But if you have a balance of like, okay, I really want this character, but I know they're not that good. You know what I mean?
Right. Me with heroes all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Big sad hours. Yeah. I wish they're really good, but I wish they were so good.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, only you can prevent falling for bait.
Wow, Smokey! I didn't know you were a part of this podcast.
Smokey the bait.
All right, I think
we're gonna put the word bait in the tags. Look out for it. When you search this video, if you search up bait on YouTube, you'll find this video.
Yeah, it'll be in the dictionary at this point.
Yep.
The picture of the thumbnail will be right there.
All right, guys. See ya.
From all of us here at the Extreme Z Podcast, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you thought of all this bait in the comments section below. Till next time.
Bye, everybody.